What's up? Welcome back to PlusOneGaming Reviews. If you don't know by now, my name is Rob. Pat's busy today working on Dead Island and Resistance 3. I'll be joining him on Dead Island in a few minutes after I finish this review. But so today I am bringing you Warhammer 40k SpaceMarine. Alright, so let's just get right into this. As a Warhammer 40k fan and player, I have to say I fucking love this game. In the single player, you play as a chapter that I have come to despise for reasons I have long forgotten. The Ultramarines. You're probably the only Ultramarines in the universe that actually have some awesomeness in them, because within the first few seconds of the game, you jump out of a Thunderhawk that's gotten damaged and crashing. I can't remember. That was hours and hours and hours ago. But you jump out of the Thunderhawk with a jetpack, and you land on an orc ship, and you start beating the shit out of all the orcs on top of it, and that's where the basic tutorial level starts. But yeah, the ranged weapons are what you expect. You got your bolt pistol, your bolter, heavy bolter, plasma gun, pistol, and cannon. A las cannon, which I was shocked to see actually, and it's a great weapon with only 15 ammo, but if they lower the 15 ammo down to like 8, it'd probably be a balanced weapon, because with the 15 ammo, it's probably my primary weapon right now. You get your melt-a-gun, which is a cross between a flamethrower and a shotgun. A modified bolter called a stalker bolter, which is your long-range weapon. They got rid of the sniper from the demo, unless I just missed it completely. A grenade launcher that fires sticky grenades, similar to the one from Halo, except without the charge up. You can fire 5. You fire 1 at a time, but you can fire 5 in total. They stick to enemies, so they're great against mobs, orcs, and Chaos Marines later on. The melee weapons are no different. You got your basic starter knife, and then you upgrade to a chainsword, and then you upgrade to a power axe, and then at last a thunder hammer. I'm pretty sure there's a demon hammer somewhere in there, but that might just be multiplayer only. Each melee weapon has its own execution, which brings me to my one grief about this game, is that in single player, the only way to regain health, aside from using your fury meter, which is probably the only use behind it, to be honest, unless you're massively screwed, is to execute enemies. And to do that, you have to stun them first, and then hit E to execute them. Or unless they're big enemies, in which case you have to do a lot of damage to them, and then they'll get the little stun symbol on top of their head, and then you can kill them, and you have to battle them for the thingy and whatever. But you have to execute enemies to get your health back, which I found to be massively hindrance. Because I'll go into a fight, and you can still die while you're doing the execution. You're locked into the action, but you can still die. So I'll be into a massive orcs, and I'll be getting my ass kicked, so I'll execute someone, and just before I finish the execution, I'll die. So that's probably my only grief about the entire game, aside from the amount of time it takes you to get from the orcs to the chaos getting into there. I got bored of the orcs about half an hour before the chaos showed up, so it's almost balanced. But after playing 6 or 7 hours of the single player, I have to say I love what they did with this game. Everything is beautifully 40k. You see massive buildings with statues and skulls, and I love it. There's a Titan. That's the whole point of this game, is to secure the Titans. You get to see the Titan, and it's actually a full model, and you get to fucking see it. I'm not going to spoil the end of the game for you, so you get to see the Titan. Everything in this game is beautifully 40k, like I said. Relic did an amazing job with this game. I have to say, I have my doubts about it after the demo. I had my doubts, but after spending hours and upon hours in this game, I have to say it's one of my favorites now. It's probably on the top. It's beaten everything else out, because I'm a massive Warhammer fan. So this is one top place. But I want to get into the multiplayer here. The multiplayer is like someone at Relic took everything awesome from Call of Duty 4, specifically COD 4, Quake, and Warhammer, and combined them all into one awesomeness package, which is the SpaceMarine multiplayer. To break it down for you, when you start a match, you get your loadout screen, just like COD 4. And you have your starter loadouts, which are infantry, heavy weapons, and assault. And you can modify those ones too if you want, but I'd say leave those ones the way they are until you get your better weapons later on. But you level up and unlock more features as you go and more perks. And you get more weapons as you go, but the cool thing about this game is when you use a weapon specifically, like I prefer the stalker bolter to the regular bolter. So I keep using the stalker bolter. I'm going to unlock specific weapon perks for that bolter. So when I go into a match, I'll have upgrades with it. The thing about Quake in this game is that I said it's got some Quake aspects. It's the maps. The levels themselves are very Quake-esque in my opinion, because they're small, confined, but still open. So you can use your jump pack in areas, and in other areas it's specifically on the ground. But everything is beautifully done in the multiplayer. The only thing I could ask for is bigger battles, which I'll get into a little bit later on. I mentioned weapon challenges. There are also armor challenges. For those of you who want to make your Space Marine or Chaos Marine look as badass as possible or as retarded as possible, your choice. I'm not going to judge. Well, I am. I'm just going to keep it to myself. You can modify the helmet, the chest, either arm, either leg, and the backpack. And you can they're all independent, so you can do whatever you want with them. You can choose different armor types. Like there's relic armor, adept armor, blah, 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 blah. You can also change the colors, so you can create your own chapter, or you can choose one of the chapters from the list and change it as you want. There are two basic game types. You got your basic deathmatch and capture points. I've only gotten into deathmatch, but I can guess what capture point is like. What I was hoping for was, since this is a Relic Warhammer game, I was hoping for Last Stand. If they had remade Last Stand for SpaceMarine, it would be beyond epic, because then you would be in close dealing with all the damage, and I would fucking love it. I wouldn't care if it's just Space Marines and Chaos and Orcs. If you just have those three, I don't need the Tyranids. Maybe the Tau, because Tau don't get enough attention anymore. They got, I think it was Fire Warrior, but that was it. But I'd love to see the races that no one sees. The Dark Eldar, the Tau, the Necrons, those kind of races back into a game like this for specific multiplayer purposes. Like Last Stand, in this point, would be great. Or maybe have a massive battle of all players versus a massive horde of enemy NPCs coming at you for like Necrons or something across a giant battlefield. But I'm just rambling now. But I love the deathmatch. It's 8 on 8, but what would be epic would be 16 on 16. I would love to see massive battles like that. But one of the game modes I would suggest they add to this game, if anyone from Relic is listening, 16 on 16 big team battles would be great, but CTF, one flag and normal would be great. Because then you can just have a banner with the hosts, I guess, or a specific chapter. I don't care. Pick one. The Blood Ravens. They're your chapter. You made them. The Blood Ravens flag. So the enemy has to get the Blood Ravens flag, or they have to get like a World Eaters flag, or something like that, depending on which side you're on. But it would be awesome to have a CTF game in here, because that would give purpose to the destruction, and it would probably bring a lot more players in. I could see this game going competitive. However sad that may sound, but I would love if this game went competitive, because then I would have a reason to play it more often than I do already, and I think I've taken a break here for maybe half an hour to do this review. Okay, if I don't stop talking, I'm just going to keep rambling on, but as far as ratings go, I have to give this game, and this is our first game to go above a 9.5, I think. I'm giving this game a 10.4, because we go beyond 10. If you didn't realize that in the other reviews, we go to 11. And this is a 10.4 out of 10. 11 is reserved for the most epic of epic games you could find, which will probably be fucking like Twisted Metal or Tor or something like that. We'll have to find out when it gets out. But yeah, that's what I give this game, a 10.4 out of 10. I recommend this game to everyone and anyone, because it is fucking awesome. Alright, thanks for listening.